This is a Cloud Jedi here for another Star Wars action figure review. Today we'll be reviewing a Star Wars Power of the Force red carded Deluxe Crowd Control Stormtrooper with Flight Action Thruster Pack and Capture Claw. We've got the Galactic Empire symbol right there. We've got Darth Vader on the left. You've got a pretty, very basic Stormtrooper action figure. Really hardly any articulation on him. You've got this jet pack slash crowd control apparatus, which we'll take a closer look at in just a little bit. Let's take a look at the back. You've got an image of the action figure holding the apparatus. You've got the ID card, crowd control Stormtrooper, height 1.8 meters average, status Imperial Shock Troops, classification human, affiliation Galactic Empire, special gear repulsor jetpack with crowd control scientific equipment. Crowd control specific equipment. Feared throughout the galaxy, Stormtroopers are elite shock troops deployed in support of both ground forces and the Imperial fleet. They are responsible for policing Imperial outposts and territories, accountable for sustaining Imperial control and even the most dangerous sectors. This can be a challenging and awfully deadly assignment for the most reliable shock troop squadrons. Tough port cities such as Mos Eisley have high populations of outlaws, criminals, smugglers, and other anti-imperial types, create a typically chaotic atmosphere. In order to suppress brawls and uprising and to facilitate the supervision of areas with high criminal activity, the Empire began issuing crowd-controlled thruster packs to many of its impact troops stationed in these areas. The packs themselves are made up of two large thrusters which extend outward for flight. Once in the air, a trooper can simply hover or travel up to speeds of 200 kilometers per hour. Dual hand levers provide acceleration as well as directional and weapons control. Mounted on the bolstered arms is a heavy blaster module, a grappling claw used for massive lifting and prisoner hauling, and a supercharged taser which sends out a shockwave useful for repulsing and immobilizing victims. These packs give the crowd control troopers a distinct advantage during situations where they are outnumbered two or three skilled troopers can effectively round up over 50 people with relative ease when taken to the air. The pack's incredible maneuverability and high speed make prisoner escape on foot virtually impossible, while its relatively quiet thrust has helped it become a stealth vehicle sometimes used by Imperial espionage division. From the description, this must be a pretty versatile and important accessory. Anyway, we've got other deluxe figures. We've got Han Solo with Smuggler Flight Pack and Deluxe Luke Skywalker's Desert Sports Skiff. You've got Shadows of the Empire 2 packs, as well as other Shadows of the Empire's Expanded Universe line, as well as some other vehicles. You've got to join the official fan club. Got the Kenner Vintage logo from 1996. Let's take one last look at the front of the packaging. Okay, and now let's move on to the actual action figure itself. I've got an opened version of this action figure. Okay, in terms of it being able to stand, it stands okay. The pack itself definitely aids it in being able to stand up properly. It's a pretty big pack. Let's take a look at the back. This is the backpack as it is opened, I guess, ready for flight. If he was going to go ahead and hover over someone. Okay. Okay, the flight pack actually closes. I guess when he's not flying around, and when he needs to open up, he opens up. In terms of the way this thing is put together, it's got hoses which come out of the sides here, and then they go back inside there. Okay. And the hoses come on both sides, I guess sort of hydraulics that would allow him to actually operate the arms. Okay, so he has tubing here that attached to it. The claw is actually operational if you push this level here. Let's see if I can do this one-handed and show you how the claw operates. It can actually open and close. And let's see him pick up this cloud trigger here. Oops. Okay, well, might be easier to do it without being attached. There we go. You got it. So anyway, as you can see, the claw is actually functional. And isn't bad looking. Okay, so you saw him grab the Cloud Car Pilot there. His right arm is the claw, which actually does move around. Okay, it is actually somewhat operational. On his left hand, he has some sort of supposed to be a taser. If you're going to be able to subdue crowds. Okay. There we go. This switch on the bottom here is actually what opens the wings. Let's do that again. Let's see how that operates. They click together. I guess when he's walking around, if you press this button on the bottom, the wings and the thruster pack expands, and there you go. It's got some pretty decent markings and paint job on the thrusters and on the inside. Okay, so there's the actual action figure. It's accessory, the crowd control pack. Let's take a look at the actual action figure. He holds on to both sides of the jetpack, which I guess he would use. He snaps off here. He's connected to the jetpack with this hole back here on the bottom. It clicks like so. Put him back in there. And there you go. The hoses are very easily unattached. Let's put him back there. On his jetpack, and he's a pretty cool figure. The action figure itself, Stormtrooper, is pretty basic. His legs just go up and down. There's no knee or ankle. His head does turn. Okay, he's able to grab onto the handles pretty securely. His arms are just going to go up and down like that. All in all, it's not a bad action figure. I actually like it. If I was a kid and I got this, you know what? I think it would be one of my favorite ones. It's a pretty decent accessory. It's interesting enough. It has working claws, although it is a little difficult to open and close it. Hold on. Seems like I'm doing it pretty good right there. Then again, I'm also doing it one-handed. Okay, but it's neat. If you see it for cheap somewhere, you know what? Pick him up. He's not a bad action figure or accessory to have in your collection. My only regret is that since the way it's attached to this Stormtrooper, it really kind of limits you in terms of which action figure you can attach it to. You definitely need one that has a large enough hole in the back to plug in. But other than that, it's cool. I give it a positive review. Thanks for watching.